All right, guys, this is the first Arcade1UP we've ever seen come to auction. I'm hoping maybe I can buy it for like $30 so I can take it out of circulation, protect the masses from the evil that is Arcade1UP. And it's probably gonna end up selling for like 120 bucks. But I guess we're gonna see. We'll find out.
We'll give 100. 50 bucks. Now 100, sir. Now 125. 125. Somebody! It's new. 125. 125. Somebody! 125. Sold it. 100 bucks, 106.
Okay, I thought it ended at 75. Turns out they got $100 for that, plus fees, plus taxes, which they've been $75 before at Walmart brand new. That one's not brand new, and I don't even know if 75 is a fair price for them. So people will buy stuff. People really like simple arcades that are going to work, that require zero effort, I guess, even if they're bad. So I guess that's what happened there. I was really looking forward to like a $20, $30 purchase so that I could throw it in the dumpster and have that footage for YouTube so that you could all yell at me for being terrible. But 100 bucks, I guess the going rate at an arcade auction for an Arcade1UP. I think there were a lot of confused faces when it got that high, so I guess we'll see.
Here got 600. I already got 5, now 6. I'm in 500. That's 7. I'm in 600. Sold at $600.
All right, guys, so we've actually been doing a lot of cool stuff with our trackballs, but this is something I've never seen. Now, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera because it is camouflaged. A camouflage trackball. No, that's not dirt, even though it looks like dirt. A trackball with camo. There's a couple of them here today. I've never seen it before, and it's a bad idea because it looks so gross. And anyone who's ever bought a game at an auction knows that trackballs can sometimes look like that because they're dirty. So every one of us walked by and just thought, oh, that's trashed. But it's not, it's just camouflage. At Free Play, a lot of people actually don't play this game that much. We have it out at all Free Plays, and it's because this is the game that caused the kind of arcade revolution. Pong started the thing, but when Space Invaders came out, it was so popular that people knew coin-op video games were here to stay. And so this example, it took a while to turn on. These boards are generally pretty reliable. The monitors are pretty reliable. And here it is, playing great. And a lot of fun. So what's kind of funny is obviously like Free Play employs people who love arcade games. So Arthur's here trying to like pick up something for his collection. And they went to a box of parts that had a Neo Geo 1 slot and some kind of junky stuff. But there was a Neo Geo 1 slot. So Arthur comes running over and he bids it at the 20 level, 25 level. And I was watching because I was like, I kind of wanted that too. And so once I knew Arthur was out of it, I bid it at like the 45, 50 level. And then neither one of us got it because they look kind of junky, but it was kind of fun. I've never bid against one of my employees, I don't think.
So they're the same board that I have that has a bunch of audio problems. And if I could have got for $20 that same Neo Geo, that definitely would have been worth it. But more than like 20, yeah, I'm not interested. I could probably get the one that I have fixed.
Now 10, now 15, now 20, now 5, now 40, now 40, now 5, and 50, gotta get it down here, 50, now 5, 55, I'm at 50, gotta get it down here, now 5.
I didn't really want all those big buck guns, but that's really cheap, and we do have a couple big bucks out in the world, so the assumption is that they're all trash. But they had plastics and stuff that you might be able to use. And if you had to go out and buy one, you'd end up spending like $100 just for one good shell or $80 for a good shell. So I thought maybe we could scavenge, but the more I looked at it, the less I wanted it. And unfortunately, someone outbid me and we didn't end up with it. So there's definitely a time in my life where I would have jumped on this with two kind of random untested monitors for $10. But of course, I've learned a lot of lessons buying monitors that are a little too new, digital monitors that got swapped out due to burn. Normally, these monitors don't work. If it's not in a new box and it looks new, normally the monitors we buy at auction are kind of trash monitors. So we have plenty of those. So we have not bought one really in a while, I don't think. Maybe 2 or 3 auctions ago, but even then it was just it was so cheap that I had to. I've got some parts coming up here, but again, guys, this is a soft auction. We'll see if I buy anything. I haven't bought anything yet. All right, guys. It's kind of interesting. We just saw a CPS2 come up, sell for $125. So someone who's actually a free play regular Ray. So that's also it's a pretty good price. But it's really crazy to me to think about. Back in the day, I was buying these for $10, $20. These untested CPS2s. But what we've seen, the A boards are now selling really, really high. $200 for a known working A board. So you can see it's probably a good risk to take at $125 because you get the A and the B. Either one of them work, you're probably okay.
On the 450 that I get down here, that 475. On the 450 that I get down here, that 475. All done, 475 and I sold at $450. 145, 145. I make 250 that I get down here, that 300.
So speed up pattern.
That 350 up 4. On the 350 that I get down here, that 400.
They're raising right now.
Sold at $375, $157 the buyer.
Miss Pack came up. That was the one I was willing to go. Like I thought around 500 was where it would go. I was hoping to get a little bit under it. It didn't end up. I could have gotten in for $475, but I don't know. Maybe I got cold feet a little bit. Wasn't as into it. It's a little rough around the edges, so I didn't end up with that one. And there was a Pac-Man thing with this really fast pack, which you don't see very often because most of them got converted to Miss Pack that had the speed up chip, or they're Pac-Man and they're purists, so they didn't get the speed up for it. All right, guys, so we got coming up here a 20th cocktail, 20-year reunion Miss Pack Galaga cocktail. Well loved in the community. It's sought after. It looks in good shape. I know Arthur is interested in it. It could end up selling a little high. We'll see, especially in a light auction. That's the thing. Some of these games are going to go higher than they should just because there's all these operators here that have to buy something.
Beautiful picture, 20-year reunion. You'll never see it go.
I'm over there.
A beautiful piece.
800 was the amount that thing.
If you keep an eye out, you'll get one for that price.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's another 15% plus 8%. Arthur's 20th that he was really interested in, but he had capped himself at 800. It got to $1,000, a 900 bid went through, and he backed out, which is it's really, really smart to stay true to what you say before the game. You're not making any emotional impulse buys, which I do sometimes, but if you don't, you're doing a good job, a good controlled bid. So he ended up not winning it and went to just another local arcade, but. Those are the cocktails of the auction. We're moving on to the stand-ups. All right, guys. So in these auctions, we often see like the 20th anniversaries, the 25th, the Pac-Man party cabinets, and those aren't really free play cabinets, and we generally shy away from those, primarily because while it might be better emulation than some of the knockoff boards, it's still emulation, and in many ways, it's just not the original games. So you can see a lot of their popularity is for home users, which I think that makes a lot of sense, right? You're in your home, you want a cabinet that has a few games, but you don't want to use something that's like a knockoff board. Makes sense, but you'll never really see us go for those. So if you're watching this and wondering why we don't bid on these beautiful looking 20th, 25th, or Pac-Man party cabs, that's why.
I've been 350 down here at 4. I'm the 350. You want to be 4? I'm right here, sir.
So yeah, I didn't really like the texture of what happened. So I was in, and I felt like someone heard that I bid, and they might have jumped in. So I bowed out. Let's see. I think it's actually still a fine price, but I think that it just felt kind of weird, so I jumped out of it. Here we go. It's a good sign, though. If you have working packs, even that are a little rough, going sub 500, prices should be pretty low.